That's right, Madballs again. What, you thought we were done with Madballs? Nope. In fact, I have a couple more videos planned, but don't worry, I'll hold off for a bit on those after this one. Did you know we almost got a Madballs animated series in the 1980s? It was a weird time. Madballs are awesome, and I have no special intro for this one because I have talked about it before. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Macabre'Gorium Labs presents School of Boredom Spotlights. My name is Bats, and I'll be your guide today as we discuss today's insane topic with Madballs, Escape from Orb, Madballs of Fire. Commonly known as Madballs Volume 1, Escape from Orb, this 22-minute cartoon was produced by Nelvana and High Tops Video. It would feature traditional 2D animation and several familiar faces, as well as a couple of new ones. It almost felt like a direct contrast to its gross jokes counterpart. The first thing that most people will notice is the theme song. It's a full-on parody of the song Great Balls of Fire by the late, great Jerry Lee Lewis.
Broke my will, went for the thrill. Goodness and grace is great balls of fire.
This interpretation was, in my opinion, better crafted and had substance. As where gross jokes was fun, it had a loose plot and flimsy animation. For example, instead of going through a series of odd animation styles and quick one-line jokes, this one actually had a plot, with the addition of the Madballs being given retractable limbs. So, what was the plot? Well, it had somewhat dark overtones and would take focus on the 7 titular Madballs and their rock band. As the title suggests, the Madballs want to escape from Orb. Orb being their home planet. But why would someone want to leave their home planet? Well, it's because of a totalitarian regime that sort of function like other people from history that I won't mention here. But these Madballs, as they are called, and led by the meaner-than-mean Commander Wolfbreath, have a total ban on music and pretty much anything fun. You could probably see why this would be a problem for a group of musicians. Our story opens up with the Madballs being forced to do hard labor for the Badballs, and they have some banter setting up the plot. During this back and forth, they reveal they have a band, and they also have a secret concert to play later that night. So indeed, later that night, they do play in a secret club. During this time, Slobulus and Arg have been secretly building a rocket ship out of trash for their escape plan. And finally, they find the last part that they needed. Wow, what a coincidence! So the Madballs are rocking out and everyone is having a blast. Not to mention the song they play is actually a total banger.
You make me dizzy, Mr. Lily, the way you rock and roll.
And then they get raided by the Badballs, at which point a chase scene begins, and during the escape they use Hornhead to break through a wall to get away, only to be saved by Slobulus and Arg at the very last second. Coincidence? They are so upset by the way life has become on the planet, they decide to board the ramshackled rocket ship with Arg and Slobulus and try their luck. Escape time. Surprisingly, it works, and after some space hijinks, they discover Earth. What the group does not know is that the Badballs have followed them to Earth and are hell-bent on bringing them back to Orb. Through cartoonness, they crash land on the roof of an MTV-style studio and find themselves on the stage, where each one winds up with instruments and they introduce themselves and play the episode's theme song. During what I assume is a copyright-protected performance, the Badballs show up and try to capture the Madballs during the song. As soon as they finish the performance, the Badballs try and take them back, only to mistakenly call Freakarella a mophead, something they probably should have known better than to do, resulting in her screaming and sending them all flying through the air and landing in their ship. This is where Slobulus does the following, and my favorite line of dialogue from this cartoon is said.
This'll fix 'em. Yeah.
After the crowd stops cheering, the Madballs officially meet Skip and Sandy, who just happen to need a new act. Coincidence? In a typical 1980s businessman fashion, he is fast to have them sign on to be their band manager. And then the episode ends with Slobulus accidentally calling Freakarella a mophead and a one-line joke. Okay, so now we know what, let's look at who was involved. As I mentioned, this one was produced by Nelvana and High Tops Video. But who voiced these goofy balls? Well, starting in no particular order, some of the voice actors from Madballs Gross Jokes will be featured in this one as well, with Screamin' Meemie being voiced again by Jeffrey Bowes, Jerry Craden would voice Dusty, Keith Hampshire would voice Hornhead, John Stalker would again voice Arg and Skullface, and Dan Hennessy would again voice Slobulus Aurelius. And there would be some differences as well, and I would say new additions, but Escape from Orb came before Gross Jokes. Yeah, I mixed up the order of the uploads. Oh well. In this one, the legend herself, Cree Summer, would voice Freakarella, with Wolf Breath being voiced by Don Franks. And finally, there was Skip, voiced by Christopher Ward, and Sandy, voiced by another MGL favorite, Allison Court. None of the other characters were listed, so I would assume any additional voices were done by the cast and crew of the show and uncredited. Now this show had potential, but it also left us with a laundry list of questions. First, what the hell is going on with Slobulus's voice? This happened to a couple characters during this show, but there is a point where when building the rocket, that Slobulus's voice is completely different.
Hey, look, I found one. Now you really look like the mophead.
I would assume it was a fun outtake that was used accidentally because after goofing off and recording several different versions, they either forgot to do it the right way or forgot to record that line and moved on, forcing them to use the best of the versions they had available. But I'm likely overthinking this one. Let me know what you think. Does Earth know that aliens exist? So the Madballs crash through a roof and start playing music, and not a single person freaks out. Not at the crash, or the fact that literal monsters are speaking fluent English and happen to be a talented rock band. I mean, don't get me wrong, the message is awesome. We're all different, so who gives a hoot what you look like or where you're from? You know, as long as you have something that someone else can exploit for personal gain. Speaking of which, Skip was really fast to sign them on to be their manager. Could this be the most 1980s thing that any cartoon character has ever done? Personally, I think this show could have been pretty freaking rad if only they would have let it cook a little bit longer and defined the plot more. The character design was on point, the animation wasn't the worst of the era, and I really liked the dark atmosphere and color scheme, as well as its use of the music is bad trope. I'm not sure where the plot could have went, but they could have just made it a Saturday morning serial, with each week the group dealing with different various cartoon life problems. Did I just... You know what? I'm totally gonna hashtag that. Hashtag cartoon life problems. Drop it in the comments. Even if this show was just an attempt to give toys continuity in order to sell more Madballs, I truly believe this could have been an awesome series. But you already know what I think, so now I've just gotta ask. Did you ever get to watch Escape from Orb? Who's your favorite Madball? Do you have any comments or fun facts? Maybe I forgot something, or maybe you have a suggestion for a future video, or just want to drop in and say hi. Either way, I look forward to hearing from you. And with that, unfortunately, we've come to the end of another School of Boredom Spotlight video. I've been your host, Bats, and today we took a look at Madballs, Escape from Orb, Madballs, and Fire. Be sure to check back next time because you never know what we have in the store. And as usual, think for yourselves, be excellent to each other, and of course, keep it creepy.
This'll fix them. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for checking out our video. If you enjoyed this one and would like to see more of our weird, creepy, odd, eccentric, or strange content as soon as it comes out, please feel free to click like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more. We'll see you later. Keep it creepy.